Hello everyone. So today what I want to show you is that if we have to start in a virtual or hybrid environment next year, how you can actually connect your document camera up to your laptop, and you can use two different types of software to allow you to go seamlessly between the document reader, the MimioView, and then also your camera that's on your laptop. So you can record videos. You could also use this software to record Schoology conferences, so that way you can archive them permanently for your students to use anytime, instead of like what we've had a problem with this spring is they only stay archived for about a week. So the software that you're going to need is you're going to need Mimio Studio, and then you're also going to go ahead and have to download the OBS Studio software. Both are free, so it doesn't really cost you any money. The Mimio Studio, I'm sure that the school's probably already going to put into your system because that's what we use in the classroom to go ahead and use our document camera there. So let me go ahead and get started and show you how to do that. So as you can see, I just panned to my screen very simply by hitting what's called a hotkey on my laptop. And that's the beauty of using this OBS software, is you don't have to do any kind of splicing or anything. You can kind of do it on the fly just by opening or switching from one camera to the other by using hotkeys that you set up on your laptop. So we're here at the MimioView website where you need to download your software. So just click on support, go to software downloads. And once you scroll down a little bit, you will see it's the first thing here. It's called Mimio Studio 12. It might be 13 by the time you go to download if it's next year. But you want to go ahead and click on it and then scroll down a little bit further. It's going to want you to fill out some information, such as it wants to know, do you have a MimioView? So you're going to fill the information out, your first name, your last name, your email, everything that is here. And then once you have it filled out, you can go ahead and start downloading. So let me go ahead and just quickly put all of that information in there. If you don't see your school listed on here, then you can pick another. Now, because I put in a different zip code, it's not reading what Polytech would be. So we should be able to see it there. It's Polytech School District, Woodside, and then hit download. You're going to want to choose English. And then as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, it is downloading. It's a pretty big file. It's almost a half a gig in size, so it's going to take a few minutes to download. Once you have it downloaded, you can go ahead and install it. Now, whenever you go to install it, the one thing that you don't want to do is you want to make sure that you don't have this guy plugged in. If it's plugged into your USB port, then chances are that you're going to not install the software properly. So what you're going to want to do instead is install it without it plugged in. And if it asks you to plug it in the middle of installation, then you can go ahead and do so. And then when you're done, it's going to work just like it normally does in the classroom. If you want to activate the software, all you have to do is just basically push the little square button on there, and then it should start up in your laptop. So once you have that downloaded and installed and it's all set up properly, you can then go to the OBS website to go ahead and download the software. So you're going to go here at obsproject.com. Again, the software is free, and the software is used professionally by a lot of people that post videos on YouTube. So it's pretty secure, and you want to click on Windows, and it should immediately start downloading. And as you can see here, it is right here in the bottom left-hand corner. It's OBS Studio 25.0.8. There's a lot of versions that have gone through over the times. This has been out for years, so you shouldn't really have any problems with it conflicting with other software or anything like that. Once you have it installed, then you're going to need to set this one up, and this one takes a little bit more setup than simply just plugging in your MimioView camera. So to set that up, once you click into it and you open it up, this is the OBS software. You're going to want to set up two things. You're going to want to basically tell, okay, what do you want it to record? You want it to record, of course, your screen, and then also your camera at the top of the screen. You're going to want to be able to pan from one to the other and set yourself up some hotkeys so you can do that automatically, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here. I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to call this one Screen Capture 2, since I already have my other one set up. you would just call your screen capture. And once you do that, it's going to say you don't have anything connected up to this. So what do you want to link it to? So you're going to hit the add button, and you're going to basically click on display capture, and that will basically capture this whole entire display. And so as you can see, that's what it's doing right now. But because we're actually using we're displaying the program that we're using to record, you're getting some feedback, kind of like audio feedback, but video feedback, and you get this tunneling effect that occurs. All right, so that normally won't happen, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and set up your camera. So to set up your camera, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to just click on the little add button. And I'm going to call mine camera 2. You'd probably just call yours camera. Really call it whatever you like. And then it asks you to connect it to a source. So I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to go down here to video capture device. Now, be careful. You probably already have a video capture device here. If you do, great. Then you're going to go ahead and use that. If there's nothing in the box, then you'll have to set it up yourself. So I'm going to use my video capture device that's already there, which basically is my camera for my laptop. I'm going to go ahead and choose it and hit OK. And then I'm going to basically drag this and make it large on my display. So that way it records the whole thing. And now I have that all set up. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up here into File, and you're going to want to go into Settings. And we have to set some of the video and audio settings and hotkeys and things like that. So the best way to probably do this is just to copy my settings. Most of these settings were default just by installing the program. Some of them I had to kind of tweak and change. So that way, whenever I recorded videos, it didn't take up too much memory. For general, I think most of this was, pretty much defaulted to this. So just make sure that yours has exactly the same thing set up in there. All right. Next thing you're going to want to do, stream, you don't have to worry about. You're not streaming to your media. You're going to record it and then put it on YouTube to stream. That's if you wanted to live stream it, but many of us probably aren't going to do that. You're going to click Output. Now, this is also important. In Windows Explorer, you want to probably create yourself a folder somewhere on your laptop and maybe label videos or teaching videos or whatever you might call it. And then that way, every time you use this software, it will immediately put that video in that folder for you instead of you having to go somewhere else and look for it. And so it's very beneficial. I set my output mode to simple. That might be a default. The video bitrate I used was 2500. Audio bitrate was 160. And I tried to make those as minimum as I could, but still have decent quality. So that's what I set for those. And here's my recording path. This would be my folder. So I have it pointing at a folder on my laptop called Online Learning SARS 2/videos. Okay, and so you can put whatever in there you want yourself. And I have it set for MP4, and it's supposed to be medium file size, high quality. And those are my settings. If we go to audio, this might have been default. I left it at 44.1 kilohertz. If not, just choose that. It's stereo. And as we scroll down further, is there anything else? Yeah, just all those are going to be uncheck marked. And so again, just copy the same settings. Under video, I chose a 1080 format. So basically, click in here. You want to choose 1080 if it's not already defaulted to it, and do the same thing for the output resolution. So that way, if the students want to, make the video larger, they have the ability to do that without sacrificing the quality of it. And I set my frame rate at 30. You don't really need to use 60. A lot of TVs right now are 60, but we used 30 for years, and the quality was just fine. It will basically cut down on your file size if you keep it at 30, or put it down to 30. Now, as far as hotkeys are concerned, the important hotkeys you want to set up are the start recording and the stop recording, and then also the switch from one camera to the other. So I'm going to switch from my camera on my laptop to my screen capture camera, which is whatever's on my display, which would probably be my MimioView if it's running. And you can use any key that you want to set as a hotkey. All you have to do is just click in the little box. It'll probably be empty for you. And then hit any key on your keyboard. And then what it will do is it will go ahead and set that as your hotkey. Page up, you would do the same. You would do the same thing. I'm using page up and page down because I have a numeric keyboard because I have a large laptop. Not all laptops have a numeric keyboard, but you can, it doesn't matter. You can use whatever key you want on there. But I don't use a lot of the numeric keys, so those are the ones that I have set up there. I also have down here the switch to scene, the negative, and then also the times symbol for the screen capture one. And so you just set all those up. The advanced, I don't think I really played with anything in here, but those are my current settings if you're curious. And just to make sure that yours are the same, and then you're going to go ahead and hit OK, so that way it saves them, and then you're pretty much good to go. All right, so now how do you actually use this software? So what you want to do is you want to start off by getting the OBS software running. And once you have it running, minimize it. Lower it so it's out of the way. Then you're going to go ahead and start up your projector. And so to start up your projector, you're going to hit the little square button on your projector. And as you can see, I've got myself a nice little pretty picture of a periodic table. If you need to focus it, just push the button on the actual camera itself so it can refocus it. And what I would do is I want to maximize what the students can see. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hit this little button right here. And what it will do is it will maximize the whole screen. All right. And so what you can do now is you can, it's live. You can basically, have your notes here, take notes, show whatever you want to the students. But at the same time, you can hit that one of those hotkeys on your keyboard just like this. And you can go ahead and switch to, the camera for your laptop, or you can go back to your document camera, or you can go to the camera so that maybe you're holding up something that you want to show the students, or whatever it might be. So very beneficial. All right. So that's basically how you use the software. And hopefully you guys find it as user-friendly as I do. If you need some additional help, I learned a lot of this just from watching a lot of different YouTube videos on how to set the software up. You can do the same if you need some extra assistance, or just let me know, drop me an email or whatever. But that's basically how you set up the program. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.